Misfits, check this out. Brass Empire. I don't know if you've heard of it before, but oh wow. They've got a new edition coming out, and we've got the creator here, Mike, to tell us all about it. Mike, what's it like to have your first big game come out again?
So yeah, I was telling you earlier that Brass Empire is actually the first game that I designed. It's actually first game Rock Manor Games ever released as the independent company I started. And if you haven't heard of it, I don't blame you, because we only printed a couple thousand copies of it back in the day. But I'm excited to announce that it's finally going to be more readily available, hopefully, to everyone out there who's interested in deck building games. It's been a long journey, and we're happy to have it back. And it just barely missed Gen Con. It got on the boat and made it to the train, but didn't quite get on the truck to Gen Con. So it'll be shipping out in a couple weeks.
Oh, great. So what can people expect from Brass Empire who have never heard of it before?
Yeah, so Brass Empire really came out of my love of deck building games, starting with Dominion all the way through Star Realms and Ascension. And I just couldn't find a deck building game that was like exactly what I was sort of had in my head or I was thinking about. So I made one myself, and I sort of just did it on the side, and just sort of took on a life of its own. And some of the sort of interesting things that I introduced or I implemented into this game are that you actually pick a faction to represent in the steampunk world. You're a corporate faction vying for a valuable resource and competing for it. So we have something called reserve cards, where you pick a color and you've got cards that build up your engine a certain way in a certain category, and you can do it much faster than anybody else looking for just to buy those cards from the center row. Because you're the only one who can purchase these reserve cards.
And you were saying there's two separate rows that you even draw from, which is kind of unique to a lot of deck builders.
We also got rid of that always available card, because that always available card's sort of boring. We have some frequent cards that come up, like the managers of your company are sort of that ×2 resource generation card that are in the always available piles of so many other deck builders. Mm-hmm. But we really did a lot with the math to make sure there was always stuff to buy. You can see 1 and 3, where you could still build your engine, and it doesn't really get clogged up, even with a more unique row of cards to choose from. But yeah, we have 2 rows. One is sort of your standard deck building, churns through. They're the employees of your company that toil away at your company every round. And then the second row is the design department. That's where you research schematics and crazy steampunk-powered machines to set up a tableau in front of you, because you're mining for this brass, which is the victory point condition. And units can help defend and attack other players, and structures can help buff your engine. So you can have a refueling station, which will help you draw more cards when you place cards under construction.
So that's really cool. That's very different than a lot of deck builder games.
Yeah, that's actually what the dice are for, because your units can take damage. So they never have too much health, but you can see health down here at 4, so they can start taking damage, and you can just use a die to keep track of it. And then once they've surpassed their health, they're removed and go back into your deck to be cycled.
But they stay out in your tableau to give you ongoing abilities.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And one of the and the idea is that this person may have been destroyed, but I have the technology and research and schematics to manufacture that as much as I need. So that's the deck cycle. Represents sort of the work and cycle of your business.
Oh, wow. And since we can't get it here, if people want to find out more about it or get it, where can they go?
Yeah, so it's up for pre-order on Rock Manor Games shop on rockmanorgames.com. It's marked down $10, so if you want to pre-order it, it'll be shipping out. The warehouse, last I spoke to them, said the week of August 7th is when they'll start, printing those labels and start packing stuff up. So it's right around the corner. Just unfortunately missed the truck to Gen Con.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, we were close. We tried.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot.